Hello, Al pals. This is Big Al. Welcome to Films with Friends. The film is the classic version of A Christmas Carol starring Alastair Sim, which is known as A Christmas Carol in the US, but was released in England as Scrooge. I guess we just sometimes can't get our cinematic titles straight. But anyway, this is the version of Scrooge I love the most. I think it's the most dynamic performance of any of the actors that I've ever seen do Scrooge, and that's among a lot of great actors. But this one is my favorite. The friends tonight, of course. First of all, is the woman who is as sweet as the sweetest figgy pudding that there could ever be found on a Victorian Christmas table. Netter of Netter's Network. Nanette, how are you doing? And what you sipping on tonight?
I am doing well. I do have a slight cold, so hopefully it'll be over with soon. And I'm sticking with water tonight.
Oh, just sticking with agua. Back in the days of Dickens, that would have been a very dangerous drink.
Yes.
Because that would have made
Unless I
things
boiled
even
it.
worse. That's true. Yeah, boil it for a good long time to get all those nasty little fiddly bits out. I personally have of course, Diet Mountain Dew. But also joining us is a man who is wearing the chain he has forged in life.
Nah.
He, he's made it link by link, yard by yard, and now he wears it. Troy Pacelli, Cartan the Klingon cleric. How are you doing, sir? And what are you imbibing tonight?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me. And I am having a zero sugar Minute Maid lemonade. First time I saw it. It was on sale. I thought I'd give it a try. I'm not sure that I like it.
Still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, and I'm also wondering if it could just be because it's in a can. I've never had lemonade in a can before. I don't know.
Oh, I do. I've had it. But yeah, I mean, I know what you mean by like you see something on sale and you go, oh, let me give that a try, see what it's like. That's how I got the Mountain Dew Major Melon. I think was it Major Melon or something like that? Some melon flavored Diet Mountain Dew.
And did you like it?
No.
Oh, yeah.
No, I would not buy it again.
Well,
I
you
do
could try
like.
adding alcohol to it, Troy, if you don't like it. Like limoncello or something.
I might.
Lemon it up more.
I might.
It's
We'll see how the night goes.
Troy's solution to most things in life: add alcohol.
I mean, it hasn't steered me wrong so far, so.
There you go. I mean, yeah, I saw your shirt last night.
Oh, yeah.
What was it?
Surprise!
Surprise, I'm drunk.
I'm drunk. Yeah,
And I said Netter got it for me as a gift. I said the only problem, and she said I think it'd be on brand for your channel. I said yeah. The only problem is everyone who watches my channel is gonna go, yeah, that's no surprise.
Yeah. Let's see who's in the chat with us tonight. Of course, Netter saying hi to her lovely husband there, the love of her life.
Yep.
Sir Torrin Cavains, thank you for welcoming. He's the only one that said hi so far.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's saying a couple other people are floating around out there. Like I said, please say hi. This
Some
version
abomination of God, Mountain Dew, he says.
Oh, I love Mountain. I've always loved Mountain Dew. For me, it's just it kind of just helps wake my mouth up in the morning and just makes the food go down.
I agree with you, but I also agree with Sir Torrin. There is a little bit of the infernal about it.
Yeah, well, you gotta love the name of it just because of what it where it came from, the little Mountain Dew,
Yes, and Netter is correct. Mountain Dew and Malibu
days.
rum is a Malibu.
Years ago, I used to
never heard
drink
that.
Mountain Dew exclusively.
Yeah.
Until Troy's like, that's killing you, right? You're drinking too much of it. It's got a lot of sugar in it, a lot of caffeine. It's just too much. So he had me kind of wean off of it into, I forget what the next one was, but it's like I kept going down and down and down until I got to just water.
She's actually in a good place because when she says that she's having a Diet Dr. Pepper, that's really the only caffeine she ever really gets. So it's like that's the hard stuff for her now. You know?
And I do that as a treat. So
Yeah.
like either I've had a really long hard week, or like I was celebrating my birthday this past week, so I've had a couple of them just because I'm still in celebration mode.
Right.
Yeah, I usually have, like I said, I have mountain, but I also have like peach tea. Um, I like a good V8. When I always top it off with a little bit of tomato juice because my cup is too big for just one can.
I
But
see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, and actually it's really good. I had because I put Old Bay seasoning and Old Bay hot sauce in my V8 slash tomato juice concoction, and
Bloody Mary.
gives it a little, yeah, gives it a nice little kick, you know. And
Sure.
like I said, you know, I have my glass of turbo V8 watching Kelly Ripa in the morning starts the day off right.
There you go. There you go.
But yeah, Christmas Carol, 1951 version. Any history with it? Any thoughts
seen
about
it.
it?
Yeah, I mean, I saw it very often during. So okay, this is again the whole Chicago, grown up in Chicago kind of thing. So the first time I saw it would have been on Family Classics with Fraser Thomas.
Yep.
And they used to do clips of it on WGN during the holiday season. So I came to recognize that as, how did you put it out? Like the quintessential classic version of A Christmas Carol?
I would say that. It's not perfect. There are a few.
Right, it's not in Klingon. I understand that.
Well, you know, if it ain't in Klingon, how can it be perfect?
Exactly.
But yeah, there's like a classic line that they don't use. The one, you know, buried with a stake of holly through his heart. That line is not in this. They added a scene with Mrs. Dilbert when he wakes up and he's, you know, all happy that it's Christmas Day and everything. That's kind of new. So they added some elements to it.
Sure.
But Alastair Sim's performance. Now, one thing I always had with Scrooge is, you know, he seems, most of the versions you always see, he is grumpy, grumpy, grumpy until he is staring at the ghost of Christmas Yet to Come, and he sees his own death. That's when they really start to show the change. What I love about Alastair Sim is you see this change gradually as he's going through the visits with the ghost. So it doesn't feel like, oh, I'm going to die, I better change. No, it seems like he's really feeling the emotions and the things that he's missed in his life and what he's currently missing and seeing. And I just like that about his performance. I just think it,
I think that
so dynamic. I thought
when you see those subtleties of character in a performance, I think those things stand out to an audience, and I think that especially people who have done some kind of acting in the past really appreciate that. You aren't seeing that as much in Hollywood anymore. And I would even say for years going back, unless somebody was had a stage acting background, you didn't see it too much.
Yeah, and that's, you know, that's Alastair Sim and I think it's Catherine Harris, who plays Mrs. Dilbert. That scene, it's a wonderful scene, and you really, it's that stage presence that they have.
Part of why I think that. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying at this time, you know, 1951 British actors, that there was a lot of stage experience there, and these older actors, they have walked the boards many, many, many times and have refined their craft, and you see that.
Yeah.
And you can even tell in the projection of their voices too.
Exactly. And I think that you're absolutely right. It wasn't just in Britain, but especially there was that stage tradition.
Right.
Actors that migrated to television and film back then predominantly came from the stage.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right, they projected because they were projecting to the back of the theater. And so their enunciation, pronunciation, and volume, right, that's what was drilled into them as stage actors. But they were also used to doing the entire play in one long. You didn't have breaks where you could stop and take two and that kind of thing. You played
Right.
it all the way through from beginning to end. So that was how, for example, a famous stage character like Scrooge was thought of. I did Sim do this as a stage production before it was filmed?
I'm not really sure now that I think about it. I know he did it again. There's an animated version that they did in 1971, and he voiced it.
No.
And the guy who played Marley's ghost, Michael Hordern, voiced Jacob Marley again too, which is kind of neat. But no, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. I didn't.
No, that's fair. I'm going to guess though that whether he did or not, he probably thought of it in those terms. So
Yeah,
in his mind, as he was learning his script, he probably blocked it out the same way.
Yeah. Sir Torrin Clegane saying he saw the film when he was maybe 9 or 10. Grandparents had TCM or AMC, would watch the old serials, and every Saturday they just sat me during the holidays, and my grandma sat me down in front of the movies just I watched it, and I ended up really enjoying it.
Yeah.
I don't remember when I first saw it, but I remember when it really started to get ingrained in my memory. They had a version with Patrick McNee, who would introduce it, and then every commercial break, he had this little oh, what a scene, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because Patrick McNee is in the film playing young Marley.
Okay.
It's not a big part, but
right.
But Patrick McNee is in there, and so it's kind of neat seeing the guy from the Avengers and
sure
the real Avengers,
right?
The
original Avengers,
John Steed, but
exactly.
But yeah, they had this version, and he was just always, and every time they showed it, it was, he would introduce it, and then and I always thought that was kind of funny, and I didn't know he was actually in it until some things kind of clicked one day. I'm like, that is him. Okay, and
there is I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, you've got the Cosby link up.
I do.
Ready to go. Cosby link is at the top of the chat. Also, if you're a rogue, it is on YouTube. Just type in Christmas Carol 1951, and then it's there.
Well, and especially with this, if you are coming here and watching this tomorrow or later this week or whatever, and you wouldn't be able to make use of that Cosby link because you'll just get a dead link until next week. You can call up your another YouTube tab and watch it there and listen along with us as we talk about it. Before we get started, though, Al, I did want to say one thing, because I'm going to ask people to pay attention as we're watching the opening credits. Again, this is one of those older films where the credits are all front-loaded, but one of the credits, they talk about where the Victorian toys come from and so forth. British films, especially older British films, did a great job of really trying to be authentic to the period. So this version, I feel, I could be wrong about this, but I feel this version really hits that the Victorian feel that the author obviously would have had in mind given the time he was writing. but also this is one of the inspirations that a lot of Victorian reenactors and steampunk, people kind of look to, when they think of, the Victorian era and what it looked like, and kind of get into character for their roles.
Yep. Yeah. So, like I said, we're going to be starting at the very beginning. There is like a 15-second Renowned Pictures Corporation there. It's just a static
in
picture.
silence too. I thought that
silence.
my sound wasn't working because I expected there to be music.
Same thing, but it's the same version I've got. It's the same version that's on YouTube. It's the same version that Troy's going to be showing on Cosme. So, yeah, if you are watching this in the future, first of all, hi from the past. And,
yeah, right.
We are the ghosts of Christmas past. And
very good. Yes, exactly.
And it is on, like I said, it is free on YouTube. I think it's everywhere. I'm not sure what the ownership of it is anymore, but it's kind of cool that it's out there. Okay, if everybody is ready, I need to get my screen so I can see the chat as it flies by. Starting, your radio. Okay. In 3, 2, 1, go. Got to look at the counter, make sure it's going for that.
Right.
Renowned Pictures Corporation Limited. I do love old.
Is that still a thing? This Renowned Pictures?
I don't know. First of all, call foul. There's no way that Christmas Carol is going to be that big as a book.
Right.
It's actually a very short book.
And this is why I feel Scrooge is the name of the story. I think that the reason the American version was called A Christmas Carol is because there was already a film called Scrooge, and they wanted to differentiate.
Yeah, I think they just wanted to have that association with the known title.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, it goes back and forth, and all characters depicted in this film are fictitious.
There comes a point where this becomes so legendary, you almost wonder if it was real or not. So you kind of need that.
I did read there was a person who was very Scrooge-like that Dickens
probably
used.
inspired. Yeah,
first the Victorian dolls led by Mrs. M. Steiner or something like that. But he would do things like he wouldn't stay at inns. He would find a patch of area with a lot of grass, so it didn't have to pay for horse feed, things like that.
Right. There we go.
God, the taller the hat, the mightier the man.
Yep.
Think they're compensating for something.
Like you could tell, his must be a nice fancy one because it's got some texture to it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably lined with a velvet or something like that.
Yeah. I like he knows who owes what.
Yeah.
Sturga, the actor playing Bob Cratchit, is the father of Glynis Johns. I did not know that. has the great Scrooge voice.
Yeah.
Very
I
rough.
agree.
And this was another film that they colorized, and I just don't think it.
Yeah, I agree.
I love his version of Cratchit. Always trying to stay one step ahead, but not
Yeah.
quite making it.
Here's the thing that gets me. It's like, he's been dead 7 years. Why don't you know this if you've been getting donations every year?
Well, he hasn't been getting donations from him. He would not give a donation.
Right,
Neither would
but
Marley.
I mean, if they know that Mr. Marley had been given generous with donations, how do they not know that he's been dead 7 years?
Oh no, Marley wasn't on generous. Marley was
Yeah,
very
I
much
think
like Scrooge.
they're trying to schmooze in order to get
Yeah.
something.
Or
They
the partner, I'm getting their names mixed up,
Yeah.
but his partner who's dead.
right.
Yeah, Jacob Marley. He was just like Scrooge. Maybe not. I mean, Scrooge has just had 7 more years to get even more Scrooge-like. You are dismissed.
I said good day, sir.
Good day.
Oh, deleted scenes. Like, sorry, couldn't join you tonight.
That's fair.
Be, booked elsewhere. I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. Well, thank you, deleted scenes. A lot of people don't really get that, the whole marriage thing.
Mm-hmm.
The falling out with his nephew was because he married someone who wasn't proper.
Yeah, exactly. And that was a big issue of the
Yeah.
time. But it was also a commentary that the author was making, because there was a lot of things about the time period that he was doing commentary on in this.
Right, yeah.
It wasn't just the politics. It wasn't just the socioeconomic disparities and stuff like that. It was also things like the marriage and so forth.
Yeah, a lot of cultural things that were starting to wane, you know, especially like the arranged marriages for dowry's sake and things like that.
You could almost say that this was a progressive message in the story.
Yeah, Fred married a woman. He found a woman and he loved her and he married her. Didn't matter what her dowry was, and Scrooge was upset because he married who he would view as a pauper.
Right.
And there was no money to make in that marriage.
But that also goes back to his whole
Look at
philosophy
these toys.
about life, that money was the most important thing.
Right. Look at these toys though, man. God.
Yeah. And this is what I was talking about. These are, I don't remember if they were originals or museum replicas, but they were on loan for this scene.
Yeah, I think a guy had a collection or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, paddle boat, so cool.
Those are really neat toys, because they don't make stuff like that anymore.
The kid looking in the window looks like Charlie Bucket.
He does. Maybe
Yeah, a little bit.
No. Almost a generation separates them, but the outfit he's wearing is perfect. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I wonder if the character of Charlie Bucket was meant to evoke Tiny Tim. You know?
Maybe.
Yeah, I could see that. Maybe not directly, but you know.
Yeah, but it was supposed to, bring that kind of sympathy
Well,
to mind.
a lot of Dickens' character. I mean, Oliver Twist and
Yeah,
Huckleberry
yeah,
Finn,
yeah.
they were all low hanging fruit on the
Yeah. On the
Victorian.
socioeconomic scale, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm. I like those little he puts
Yeah.
in there. See, he almost delivers that line softly.
Yeah.
I mean, he is staying with his character, but there's something there. They just don't make him. They don't do the evil thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you
So-
do get the impression there's more to his character than
Right.
that simple, you know. He's got more depth than that.
It's kind of that way. Like even the dog knows to get out of the way.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if that's just their sense of him or if he passes them every day. They know him.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and it's not like Scrooge can't afford more bread.
Yeah.
He's just
Well, and there's that moment where he decides, is it worth it to me? No,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
no. It's an extra,
Tuppence, maybe.
more coin in his pocket. You were talking about the good ghost stories on Christmas. Definitely.
You know, I was just thinking in the lead up to this scene, a comparison between Scrooge and Mr. Potter from It's a Wonderful Life. Also, another movie where people are made to look back at their life and learn a lesson. But I can't remember now if it's George or his father who says to Potter, you have so much money, you're never going to spend it in your lifetime. And his retort is, so I should just, give it away or whatever. I'm watching Scrooge here, who probably would have the same attitude. And I'm thinking, no one's saying you should give it away, but you really ought to think, what good is the money that you have accumulated in your life?
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to die and it's not going to be used. What a waste of all the time and money of your life.
And that's kind of what Marley wants to get through to him.
Yeah.
He's like, that's what happened to me. The same thing's happening to you.
Right.
And, he talks about, we're about to see the scene with the
and I think that
chains that he forged in life.
Right. And I think that also sets up what in the future part, right? And he sees his stuff being taken and his house being pillaged, and
Right.
What is your legacy? What does any of this matter when you're gone?
Or and also, what will be the important thing left behind?
Right.
Do you want him to just be known for a bunch of stuff, or do you want people to remember you?
Yeah.
For what you did, for your deeds, for your manner.
Yeah.
You know, do you want to look back and think, or have someone think, that was a great guy, and it's a shame he's gone,
Yeah. Yeah,
or
exactly.
or just like, wow, that guy who died, that's a nice place.
Yeah, because I mean, you can't take it with you, and
Also a good play.
Ah, yeah, right.
it's like, and if you can help people while you're alive, why aren't you? Or at least give yourself some creature comforts, because you're not going to have them later.
I don't know if Dickens was a Christian or not. One tends to, assume that the farther back you go, the more likely someone is to be religious, but I don't know that historically. But if you look at it from a Christian point of view, you have Marley and Scrooge, who are lenders, right?
Yep.
And Romans 13:8 specifically says, let no debt remain outstanding except the continued debt to love one another. And you could take that two different ways. Let no debt go outstanding, pay off your debts. Or if someone owes you, let that debt not go outstanding. Sometimes you forgive debts.
Right.
Right, because the Bible also says that every 7 years your debt should be forgiven.
Right, that's true. Interesting. And Marley has just been dead 7 years tonight.
Yeah.
By the way, he's trying to keep that facade, but he is scared crapless.
Right?
I love those old 50 special effects.
Yeah. It's an extrapolation of what they used to do on stage productions where they do it with a mirror.
Yeah.
This is a double exposure type of thing.
Oh, potato. Trying to convince himself.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm getting hungry. I want some stew.
Yeah. I want some
I can make
cheese,
some potatoes.
potato, and beef.
Yeah. I'm gone.
So my reaction would be like, stop with the wailing, you're hurting my ears.
He sounded like a yenta right there for a second.
Right.
There's some great vocal
Yeah.
aspects
Yeah.
to that.
And do you get the impression that this ghostly existence of his, it's clearly part of his perdition, right?
Yeah.
So this is either his hell or his purgatory.
I wear it. Ponderous chain.
And what's interesting is the outfit that the ghost wears is it would almost be a little bit anachronistic in the time period of Scrooge. So it's like he's wearing something from his younger
Right.
days.
Yeah.
Which possibly is what he would have been buried in, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, he may have worn old clothes until they were absolutely
Yeah.
threadbare. And you know that one phrase, like "you're always a good friend of mine," is if you think about what is Marley's reason for being there outside, does he really care enough about Scrooge to try to save him, or do you think this is part of his
Redemption.
redemption? Thank you.
I
I can't think of the word.
I would be inclined to say that even if he didn't feel kindly enough towards Scrooge, I think the perdition he's in softens his heart, right?
Yeah.
He wouldn't want his worst enemy going through what he's going through. And by no means did he consider Scrooge his worst enemy.
Oh,
you know?
no, they were kind of buds, you know?
Yeah. So, if nothing else,
Ooh,
wow.
I love that. Such great old-fashioned ghost sounds. But like, you know, like they're trying to give this poor woman money and they can't because they're just ghosts.
Right.
It's like,
They had their opportunity and now it's passed them by, and you're
Right.
doing the same thing. But you are literally in a position where you actually can do something.
Yep.
Now there's another level to the horror here for him, because if what he's seeing is true, then this spirit world exists and it's around him all the time. There's
Oh,
that
yeah.
existential dread that goes into it, almost a Lovecraftian kind of a feel to it.
Yeah, you'd be walking down the street and wondering like
Yeah.
what spirits are passing you by. Get ready to see the Ghost of Christmas Past, which is always one of the harder ghosts because of Dickens' description.
Hmm.
So they always fiddle around with the look
Yeah.
of it. I love the background music. All is well,
Yeah.
from your virgin.
And I do love the fact that these spirits are, in different aspects, kindly, you know?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. None of them are of ill intent at all.
Right.
In fact, they're just the opposite. They're there to help him.
Yeah. In fact, you can't even say that about the Ghost of Christmas Future. He's definitely a spirit of foreboding, but not with any evil intent.
No. But I love Alastair Sim, the look. It's almost like he's afraid to relive it.
Oh, absolutely.
See, they'll have a lot of performances where they seem so indifferent to it. I love that. Isn't that a beautiful shot?
Yeah.
Looks like a matte painting.
That's what I was just thinking. It looks like a painting.
And I think it should, right? I mean, there should be a bit of a dream quality to it for him.
Does a great job of showing him as a very
Yeah.
sad boy.
What I never understood is why wouldn't his father let him come home for Christmas?
In this one, it's because his mother died giving birth to him, and so he reminds him of that
Yeah.
loss. He kind of blames him for that.
Yeah.
I always like you can see the film issue
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
Didn't have all the Avatar type CGI back then.
Right.
That's good old fashioned filmmaking.
Oh, Sir Torrance says, I never realized the guy that played Randolph in Free Willy was a time traveler.
Well, I guess my avatar is his sister, not the
Yeah.
old fiance.
Yeah.
I think another difference from the book is Scrooge, I believe, is the older child in the book, whereas here they make him the
Yeah.
younger one.
It does set up, and I mean, regardless of who's the elder, the relationship between he and his sister is so crucial to his character development because when he loses her,
Yeah, she was the one who always loved him unconditionally.
right,
I mean, he had issues with his father and didn't get along with any of the other boys. But see, you already see him changing.
yeah,
That's what I love. He's already
he's
changing.
already made the connection between himself and his nephew, right?
Yep.
Which then forces him to say, "Am I being like my father?"
Old Fezziwig.
I'd be afraid that wooden floor break with everyone stomping on it.
Yeah,
That's the old days. That's a thick floor.
yep.
Gotcha.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep. He's. Icy heart is melting.
So the actor who played the young Scrooge was actually a protege of Alastair Sim. When he was 15, they were in a movie together, and Sim helped him lose his Cockney accent. He ended up living with him and his wife until he was in his 20s. Nice.
Oh, that's awesome. I love watching an old film like this and thinking about the actors that you really never hear of,
Right.
and just how they are so good. Like the guy who plays young Scrooge here.
Yeah.
I mean, what is his name? George Cole. What's
Right.
he done? What else has he done?
I don't know.
Let me see here. Oh, he was in the Centurion films.
And see here, he's having this conversation, and saying, your money doesn't matter to me. Again, making another connection between himself and his nephew.
Yeah.
Fezziwig. I love that name.
Yep.
Yeah, Fezziwig is always my favorite of the Dickens characters. George Cole was in Cleopatra, the Elizabeth Taylor film. He was also in an episode of UFO. Awesome! And Mr. Jorkin, if I read right, was a character in David Copperfield.
Mm.
Or kind of based on that, kind of
Sure.
a similar feel.
Sage and onions. Now I want that stew more than ever.
Yeah. That is the Easter eggs in this film. It's a recipe for a stew.
There you go.
So we've got sage, onions, we got spinach. Earlier we had cheese, potato, and meat.
A bit of beef. Yeah.
I don't think the cheese would actually go into the stew, though. I think that would be a side dish.
Like a topping.
Unless you put it on
Yeah.
top, like
I can say,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, I see what you're saying.
like you do with the onion soup.
Or you could put it in and make it creamy. Kind of like
Yeah,
depending on depends on the cheese. More Easter eggs. We have to listen.
Yeah.
And at the end, you're gonna see the recipe, right?
Right,
In the
exactly.
credits.
That would be awesome. Someone's got to do a film like that.
So this is the denial part.
But he's like right here, he's losing the only one who's ever loved him.
Yep.
It's like, don't leave me alone with Daddy.
And now he's looking at the reasons he's losing them: the baby,
Right.
and the husband.
Yep.
Now this scene really hits.
And he never heard that because he had left.
He had never heard that.
Yeah.
Her dying wish.
I don't know if it's an artifact of the filming technique, but that there are times where the Ghost of Christmas Past seems to fade away a little bit, and I think it works really well.
Oh, it does, I think. A young Patrick McNee.
Hmm.
I wonder if anybody's ever written or done a story of expanding on the younger days of Scrooge and Marley.
I suppose one could. There's enough of an outline here to do so.
Yeah. Oh, Fezziwig. Ooh, it started in 1766.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, poor Fezziwig.
And he's lost his business.
Yeah.
To Scrooge. Okay, you two are costumers. See how his shoulders have that
Pleading.
pleating?
Mm-hmm.
Was that was a thing back then?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's not easy to do either.
I hate doing sleeves.
Yeah.
I tried. Well, I made a pirate shirt once. I tried to make a pirate shirt.
Uh-huh.
Well, I wore it, so I guess I did make a pirate shirt. And I could never get it to look right. That little poofiness.
Sleeves are challenging, and pleated sleeves like that are the worst.
And as you're sewing them in, you have to gather them so that they pleat.
And you want them to be even on both sides. So you see how both the men and the women had those kinds of sleeves. It's just the women's were more pronounced.
Yeah. Wow, that's got a lot of modern meaning there.
Well, that's what makes a story like this so great, right? It speaks to something that's universal and timeless.
It's rhetorical again. So Al wanted to be a pirate.
Yeah.
I was a pirate for one night. We had a pirate. There was this event that they had annually called the Pirate Feast, and you would go there just like a pirate. There was music playing and food, and just had a lot of fun. And I just did it one night. The only thing I didn't have was footwear, so I used my old medieval turn shoes.
There you go.
Should have gone barefoot. Now that I think about it. Didn't even fight for her.
Nope.
That's a stage actress. You could tell by the way she did that.
Yeah.
I like how they show the books. How the business expands, so do the books.
Yep. $1835 goes into 2 volumes.
And that one year was like twice as big as the other books.
So he's embezzled from his company, and he's trying to blame Ebenezer and Marley.
No, he's done it. He's just calm about it. They know he did it. He knows they know he did it. He just doesn't care that anybody knows that he did it. But he's doing the plausible denial thing.
Doesn't matter what you know, it matters what you can prove.
Yep. And I like how Scrooge's hair here mirrors the younger Scrooge's hair
Oh, yeah.
in its shape.
Right, they're thinking through the progression of the character,
Yeah.
even in look.
Jorkin's back there. He's like, I love. He's like this element of chaos.
Yeah.
He's like really getting off on it.
Okay, I just heard a Les Miserables.
I did. I caught that too.
Look down, look down. Yeah.
Well, this is Ms. Dilber, original character, also another original character for the film.
Hey, Evelyn. Hey, Connie. How you doing?
Hi,
You
Evelyn. Connie.
If you want to join us where we're at, the Cosme link is right above.
Marley's about to die. Man, that's late to be open
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, back then they had really long days.
Yeah. It worked on Saturday.
Yeah.
Only took the Sabbath off. Like it's, I was reading something they mentioned. It's like if you look, you see a line going through the S in Scrooge's name, make it look like a dollar sign.
Oh
It
yeah.
does.
I mean, it's such a cool little effect. I don't know if they meant to do that or if it's a happy accident. But
I'm sure it was a happy accident. I don't think it was intentional,
Yeah, it
but
looks like
it
a
wouldn't be
shadow.
difficult to line up a shot that way.
It's a shadow going through from the line on the wall.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's like, dang, not only does my company let me have Friday off, they're letting me have Monday off. That's the 26th because they still consider all that to be part of Christmas.
Yeah, me too.
Yep. I do too.
It's kind of nice to have Boxing Day off.
I actually have the whole week off because I took off the extra days. But it's like my manager and I will switch off. So she's divorced, so she's got 2 kids from her marriage, and it's like every other year her husband will take the kids for Christmas, and the other year she'll take the kids for Christmas. And so she just goes, okay, well I'm gonna have them this week, so I'll take either the week before Christmas or the week after Christmas. It doesn't matter to me one way or the other. It's just me and Troy here, so it's not like
Yeah.
we got to go anywhere or do anything.
This is such a creepy scene.
Yeah. Oh, you're not dead yet. Okay.
I think he tried to warn him on his deathbed. I like that.
Yeah. Oops. I mean, given that, what an incredible gift both were given.
Mhm.
That Marley had the opportunity to come back and communicate what he was trying to communicate on his deathbed.
Yeah.
The proverbial unfinished business.
Yeah, exactly.
I always knew.
Well, those 2 are now out of a job.
No, he's an undertaker.
Oh, okay. Then she's out of a job. Isn't she like his maid or something?
Yeah, well, he hires her.
See, I don't think I could sleep with curtains around my bed because I always be wondering if there's something outside of the curtains.
I was thinking the same thing earlier.
It really is just meant to be another layer to keep the light out.
Or the heat in.
That too, yes.
Still creepy, especially
Or
with all the horror movies I've seen.
or prying eyes if,
True.
there was a Mrs. Scrooge. Now, I will say, much like you guys we were talking about earlier, my favorite ghost.
Yeah. Well, and in this depiction of this particular, the Ghost of Christmas Present usually has a similar visage in the different interpretations.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely see the inspirations that led to the modern day Father Christmas, Santa Claus, whatever.
Right. No me better man. I love that. No me better man. I remember a long time ago we had a wreath that fit my head perfectly.
Ah,
And I would go around like doing lines from him. Come, know me better, man.
mm.
This is what happened. You don't follow Jesus.
So basically, what the Ghost of Christmas Present is saying, you need some churching up, boy.
Yep. Wasn't that a line in the Blues Brothers?
Something like that, yeah.
Does he mean miners? M-I-N-E-R-S?
Yeah, the miners that work in the mines.
Or
yeah.
M-I-N-O-R-S?
Sir Torrin Clegane, I think I just realized that the Christmas Carol that I watched was from the 1938 film with Reginald Owen.
Reginald Owen, yeah. Which was originally supposed to be another actor.
Mm.
The one who played Potter.
Oh.
But he had...
Barrymore?
Barrymore. And he had bad arthritis and couldn't do it, or something like that.
Oh.
Barrymore used to do a radio version of A Christmas Carol. Kind of like what Patrick Stewart had been doing a long time ago.
Netter and I saw his one-man play here in Chicago.
Yeah. And I like his version of A Christmas Carol, and I think he has one of the best scenes in many of the movies where when he's waking, he tries to laugh and he doesn't know how to.
Oh yeah.
And it's like he's gasping for breath, but his body finally remembers what a laughing
right.
is like. I thought it was such a cool scene. Is the pudding singing in the copper? I love a Christmas pudding.
Yeah, maybe not so much.
Yeah.
That actress playing Mrs. Cratchit.
Yeah.
I know her older.
Yeah.
Let me see if let me find her here.
And I think she almost always plays like a maid or something.
Hermione Baddeley.
Yeah, it's like the name's not familiar, but I'm looking at her face going, I know that actress, but older.
She was on Maud.
I think she was in not Chitty Bang,
I'm looking
Mary
her
Poppins.
up. I'll look her up.
Yep, she was in Mary Poppins.
She was
Ellen
one of the
the
maids in Mary
Domestic.
Poppins. Yeah, I knew
Yeah,
her.
I thought so.
She also did a voice in The Secret of Nim.
Huh.
Oh, yes, she did. Didn't she do Auntie Shrew?
Yep. And she was in The Aristocats.
Doesn't surprise me.
Madame Adelaide
Yeah, she did a lot of those Disney films.
In fact, I have to wonder if when Don Bluth drew Auntie Shrew, he wasn't actually, inspired by Hermione Baddeley's look.
I'm sorry, like Sir George again. It's like, where's our Martha? Why did you say that name? That's awesome. Mary Poppins also featured Glynis Johns, who is comes full circle, who is the daughter of the guy playing Bob Cratchit.
Oh, yeah, good point, Sir Torrin. That's true.
Look at it, his heart's melting.
I think my thought would be like, yeah, he's a hard employer, but I have a job.
Yeah. So Fred may not have married well, but he's definitely not wanting.
Yeah.
All those sausage curls.
Oh,
Oh, fan herself.
Hmm.
Cut me throat and rip my liver.
Yep.
Is that his ex-fiance?
Yeah.
She aged really well. He didn't.
Where are our children, Alice?
And now, dude, you outside in the cold.
Mm-hmm. And he knows what's to cut. He knows what this one's about. I said they usually go for the skeleton, but
Yeah.
at least most modern ones. But just use a pale hand, just as effective.
I do understand the use of the. Basically, it's death, right? What is in the
Yeah.
future for everybody but death, right? But it's so on the nose. It like. I think it gives too much away at the very moment of Scrooge meeting the spirit, you know?
But you look, it's just a guy covered. He's not. It's not like
Yeah.
the hood. It's not
Right.
like the sickle. It's just
Right.
this veiled figure.
That's why I'm saying I like
Yeah.
this version, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Such a sad image right there.
Yeah.
Just a well shot, I should say.
Yeah.
And thinking of framing, have you seen The Fablemans?
Don't know. Uh-uh.
Have you heard who's in it?
No.
David Lynch
No kidding.
plays John Ford at the very end.
Interesting.
Steals the movie, in my estimation. But I just thought I'd let you know, being a David
Oh,
Lynch
yeah.
fan.
I'll have to look into that.
Yet he still puts a chair by the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that was more for proximity for the
Yeah,
conversation than the
exactly. He
warmth.
wants to talk to her. Wow. And whereas I had said the visage of the Grim Reaper as the ghost of Christmas Future is so on the nose, what lies ahead for everybody but death. This one, shrouded, so you can't actually see a face.
Right. Well, just like the future is.
The future is
shrouded.
always shrouded. Exactly right. Exactly. Difficult to see is the future.
The Victorian version of your local thrift store.
Yeah. Or a swap meet or something.
You know, that one thing she just said kind of sums up the feeling. It's like they don't feel anything because they know he didn't feel anything.
Yeah.
So they don't feel any guilt by
Right.
it was just junk. There's no emotional attachment to him, so
True,
who
true.
cares?
Don't speak ill of the dead.
I did, and I think in the Patrick Stewart version, one of the women that are in this scene in
Yeah.
that version, one of them is the one who plays Onslow's wife in Keeping Up Appearances.
Oh.
If you know
Ah.
that show,
Yeah, yeah.
um, I think Daisy, I think is her character's name.
What am I gonna do with bed curtains?
He like thought he didn't have anything catching, did he?
Oh, she stole his death clothes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Took him right off of him, too.
Yep.
Only go to the funeral if they're having food.
You get the feeling that maybe he's already kind of figured it out.
Yeah, I think it's almost like he's trying to look for hints that it's not him.
It's
Yeah.
3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, at this point, he has to already know.
Yeah. It is weird seeing your own name on a tombstone, though.
Right.
I have had that privilege because of my father
Oh.
having the same name.
Ebenezer Scrooge. It's Scrooge.
Like I said, that's what he's saying. Is like, I'm already dead, and that's why I'm
Yeah.
I'm in hell.
You know, the more I'm watching this tonight, the more I'm thinking of the parallels between this and It's a Wonderful Life. Help me, Clarence. Send me home to my wife and kids. I don't
Yeah.
care what happens to me.
I just love this whole scene here.
Yeah.
His whole demeanor change. And like, there's a mirror on the wall, at what, where if you see it at the right point, you see one of the stage hands
Oh.
behind the camera because it's a mirror. And he's like peeking around a curtain. Right here. This,
Now, of course, he could very easily say, oh, it was all a dream.
yeah.
He is not doing that, though.
Now look at the mirror
Yeah.
right above his head.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
What's right above his head?
You see someone in the mirror.
Oh, yeah, I just saw that.
Yep.
Another face.
I'm here.
She's like, you're nuts. Start with giving her a raise.
Yeah.
And the face is still there.
Yeah, he's still there. Exactly.
Yeah.
Oops. Just knocks her down.
Okay, she's a poor housekeeper because I'm seeing dust everywhere.
What is he on about?
And he probably doesn't pay her for that much time.
Right.
I just love it. Throws her apron over her head and runs.
I was waiting for her to fall downstairs, break her neck, and die.
Right. Yeah. Even if I do this.
Now, I don't know English money that well, but it sounds like a lot for someone in her position.
I think it works out to like a tenner. Let me check. No, I'm sorry. It's about £1.05.
Oh, okay.
21 shillings.
Still back then, though.
Yeah.
A guinea is worth, £1, 1 shilling in modern money.
They just raised her money from 2 shillings to 10.
Yep. In keeping with the situation. She doesn't change that. She just changes how she feels about what she means.
You boy, is the turkey still in the window?
Was it a turkey or a goose?
Goose.
Did you watch that video I sent you guys? With the quarters flinging the cash and going into the kid's eye?
Oh, no, I didn't. I haven't seen that yet. I was a little bit busy, but the Saturday Night Live bit? Yeah, no, I haven't yet.
Now, Crown, that's what I was thinking. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
For back then. Enchanting boy. Bethlehem says she screams as well as Una O'Connor in Invisible Man. Yes, she does. Una O'Connor does not get the credit she deserves. I love that woman.
And he's holding it like a baby.
Yeah.
They've never seen a bird that big. They wouldn't know how to hold it. Christmas. I like that.
I love that. Faith of a child, right?
Yep.
When everyone else is incapable of thinking anything good of Mr. Scrooge, he believes, no, the spirit of Christmas could move him.
Yeah, and I really think that one of the reasons that Tim had originally died was malnutrition.
Yeah, that's definitely implied.
This is a beautiful scene.
Yeah, it is. In every version I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
but
actually a really nice suit.
it holds a lot of weight in this
Yeah.
version because his face and the way he says the lines,
Yeah.
is just so wonderful. And I also like this little go ahead from the maid.
It's like, go ahead.
Yeah.
Do it.
He kind of needed that, right? I think he was afraid. He's like, should I?
Yep. He didn't know how. I mean, he knows what they think of him, but
Yeah.
it's pianoforte, isn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah, it looks. It doesn't look like a long enough keyboard to be a regular piano.
You know, she started off dancing a little hesitantly, and then all of a sudden he gets into the
Yeah.
jauntiness of it.
He remembers.
He used to dance all the time when he was young. I just love the smile on his face once he's fully accepted it. Uh-oh. Start running, Bob, you're late.
Yeah, he hears the bells. I love that. He's like, oh, here he comes. Here he comes. He's late. Oh, this is going to be fun. That's got to fill him with fear.
Yeah, he's terrified right now. Like Ralphie after he said the bad word. He's like, that's
Yeah.
not good.
I love the way he says that.
And of course, Crutch is like, he's having me on.
Yeah, exactly. Aw. I don't deserve to be so happy. He's still a little bit of that grump in him, right? But now it's turned towards himself.
He should just give Bob the day off.
You give the dog a little scratch on his head. God bless us, everyone.
Nice.
The end, Scrooge. Well, that
Thank you, Sir Torrance. Scrooge lost miserably.
Well, that is the end of my favorite version of A Christmas Carol, my favorite Ebenezer. It is an annual tradition that has now been checked off my list. Still got a few I got to check off in the next week, but I hope everyone enjoyed that, and I am so glad everyone was here. What you guys think? Great movie.
It is a really great movie.
I have a hard time saying this is my favorite version, but it kind of is. I mean, I would be hard pressed to come up with one. Now, obviously, Klingon Christmas Carol is going to have a very special place in my heart, but being very traditional, yeah, I really do like this one.
Yeah, it is. Like I said, my favorite performance of Scrooge. Like I said, it has its differences from the book. It has a few things it's added, but it to me it all works. And really, at the center of all that was Alastair Sim. He'll forever be my favorite Scrooge. But I love most of the performances of Scrooge. I've seen Patrick Stewart does a great job. George C. Scott, Reginald Owen, Seymour Hicks. Trying to think of some more.
Have you seen A Muppet Christmas?
I have not seen it. I was thinking about that the other day, and I need to.
It's very interesting. I don't think I have either, but I have heard a lot of people commend Michael Caine.
Yeah, Michael Caine.
And saying that he did such an incredible job as Scrooge. And I guess he's been quoted as saying that with all the absurdity of the Muppets, he just decided, I'm going to play it straight. I'm going to play it like this is a traditional...
Which is, I think, works the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't make yourself part of the Muppet-verse. Make the Muppets part of the regular universe. And you're just acting as if it's Bob Cratchit and it's the different ghosts and things like that. But I need to make a point of watching that. I'll try to watch that sometime this week.
Yeah,
and because there's that one. I remember watching the recent Disney one that they did. Jim Carrey did it, which it's okay, but it's a little frantic. For me, I like mine a little more subdued. But that is the final film for Films with Friends Christmas edition. The next film on my list is New Year's Eve, and we're going to be watching When Harry Met Sally.
Nice.
Which is a very good Christmas Eve kind of a film. And
we'll be having what she's having.
Yeah. And it's a fun film. I haven't seen it in a while, but I really like it. And I think it's a good film to watch that night. So looking forward to that. But before that, we actually have Christmas Eve next Saturday night into Christmas morning. depending on the length of the film, I guess. For me, that is.
Yeah.
I know you were still kind of figuring. Have you
Yeah.
decided on a film?
Sort of. What we decided we're going to do is, because we couldn't decide, we're going to put up a poll. Where are we going to put that poll up?
Well, I was thinking there's actually 3 places we could and probably should put it. We could put it on our
YouTube channel?
community
Okay.
tab on YouTube, on Twitter, and maybe in the MeWe group.
Okay.
Yep. What are the? Do we have the choices yet?
We have 7 choices.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
And
we give people a choice.
And
But
the top 2...
But yeah, there's 2 of us because I'm going to do one on Friday as well. So, the top 2 we'll split it up between us.
I'm just hoping to make sure I get a hold of them. We'll see if I can get a hold of them all.
Oh, sure. You probably already have most of them. So Polar Express,
I do not have that one.
Elf,
I think I do. Yeah.
yeah, A Christmas Story, the original,
Ooh.
The Santa Claus,
Ooh.
Santa Claus the movie, the Richard Donner film.
Oh, David Huddleston.
Yep. Holiday Inn.
Ooh, old school.
Yep. As well as Meet Me in St. Louis.
Never seen that one.
Yep. So I'll throw it up, and what I'll do is we'll have this poll going in a couple different places. Obviously, we'll have to decide probably like by Wednesday or Thursday, but we'll take the choices from all 3 places and amalgamate them, and we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
So we'll give you
I-
enough time to get your the movie.
Yeah, so the top 2 of those 7 films, Troy will show one on the Friday. I'll show the other one on the Saturday.
Exactly.
We
Cool, I
figured
was,
let the viewer's choice.
Yeah, I didn't know if you had it because I remember you were trying to think of something different,
Yep.
and I was wondering, do you remember a little movie called One Magic Christmas?
Who was in it?
I don't know that one.
Harry Dean Stanton and I think Mary Steenburgen.
I don't think so.
It's an old film. Harry Dean Stanton plays a kind of an angelic figure,
Uh-huh.
and it's just I think it's One Magic Christmas. But yeah, it's just a very obscure one you don't really see broadcast too much.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah,
Cool.
I mean, it's way back in the I think early '80s it came out.
Yep. No, I don't think I have, but I'll have to look into that. Oh yeah, so that's what we got coming up this week. I know that Soundtracks of Birdman has a concert or something, right?
That was actually happening tonight.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It started at 9.
There you go.
But
So that's got to be
But-
where everybody was tonight.
Yeah.
the link for that is open and for 24 hours.
Ah,
You
okay.
know, so he knew. We talked about it, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, dude." I was like, that's fine."
Yeah.
He had, I know he had Eric Woods and Sound Engraver had joined him
Mm-hmm.
on his stream, and I popped in. I watched a few minutes of it just to kind of do it, but he had
Sure.
a link there, and I think that link will be good for 24 hours. So if you like symphonic Christmas music, stop by. I think it's a Pops kind of thing. Stop by Soundtracks with Birdman and get a hold of that link, and you get 24 hours to watch it.
Sounds like a plan.
Now maybe 22.
Oh, time's ticking away.
It's
Time's
ticking.
away.
Better
Yep.
get on it. But beyond that, let's see. Tomorrow we have, well, not we, you.
Oh, yeah.
Aged Boomer has Geeky Geezers and some more big news in the DC.
Oh, gosh, so much going on in DC.
They don't know what they're doing, so they just make it up as they go along. creating news every day.
I'd like to think that maybe what they're actually doing is making a clean break and actually putting together a plan. I think that's the whole point behind bringing in Gunn. That he ostensibly had to present his plan to what's his name, Zaslav, this past week. We don't know. We assume that happened, but we don't know the details. So it'll be interesting to see that, see what comes of that.
I'm wondering if they're going to have the guts to pull Flashpoint.
No, my prediction is that they've just given up, but they're going to go ahead and just release everything. They're going to release Aquaman. They're going to release Flashpoint.
Well, Wonder Woman. We know no more Wonder Woman coming out.
No, I meant whatever's been filmed is being released.
Yeah, I said that I don't think any Wonder Woman's kind of
in fact, I don't know if we're going to squeeze the article in. We got a lot, but I just saw today that Easter eggs or whatever for Superman and Wonder Woman have been scrubbed from the Flashpoint movie.
Yeah, wow. That's such a. I mean, that is a train wreck.
But honestly, I think I'm going to have an unpopular opinion here. I think it's long past time. I think and in fact, I saw somebody do a video today. Warner Brothers must hate money, and I'm like, these movies have not been making bank. No, this is why they are doing it. You know.
Black Adam, for as much as it did make, cost too much to make any money. I'm wondering. I'm looking at Avatar. By the way, I saw Avatar: Way of Water. My review is up on my channel, Big Al Presents. I liked it. It's a great film, but I'm like, how can they make money on this thing? I mean, I don't know how much it costs to make it, but it's got to make. It's basically got to be the top movie of all time to really break even close to be even.
Yeah,
it's a project of love, I guess, for James Cameron. I know the messaging in it is very much in his thing, you know. The water, and I support. I'm okay with that. Like I said, I'm anti-whaling personally.
Yeah.
There's that in it, and of course, you know, taking the colonials taking over land from the indigenous peoples kind of thing. But it is a good movie, but it's like, oh my lord, how much has that got to make to even come close to doing it? But yeah, check out my review. I will have a review coming out. Well, it's going to be a pseudo review. I watched The Fabelmans, and I also watched a few weeks ago, and I haven't gotten around to making a video about it, What am I? Hold on a second. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Hello? I was hearing noises. Sorry, everyone.
I was going to say, is it the Ghost of Christmas Past?
I don't know. It sounds like the ghost of somebody in the hallway making noises.
Ah.
But, where was I? Oh, yeah. But, I saw The Fabelmans, and I watched 5/25/77, which was a film that was done way back, and finally saw a major release coming up. But they're so similar. I thought I got to do a double video on it, because one's about young Steven Spielberg, kind of a fictionalized account of how he got into things, and the other one is the same thing, about Patrick Reed Johnson, the guy who did Space Invaders, and there's a few other films that he's done, how he got into filmmaking. And it's very, very parallel. And I thought, and two very different outcomes as far as the film goes. But, you know, I liked both films, but one is clearly just eons ahead in refined filmmaking. But I'm hoping to get that film out, that review out sometime this week, and you know, whatever I might come across, I don't know. So just keep an eye out. I put them out just when I get around to it. I don't have a schedule or anything like that I keep. So just every other Saturday movies, and I've already got 2 months in the planning, and March is kind of still feeling it out. I might have to change it because I'm very heavy sci-fi the first 2 months. uh, but so that'll be fun. Anything? Oh yeah. Well, let's go. Let's go in the week. Soundtracks with Birdman. I don't know if he's got a Batman show on Monday or not. Hope he does. This is Christmas week, so you never know. People travel, and I don't know if he has a film on Wednesday.
Yeah, I haven't heard either.
Yeah, so keep an eye out. I'm sure he will put something up if he does. Of course, like I said, Geeky Geezers tomorrow night. Like I said, Monday that. And Wednesday, I'm not sure. Anything on Tuesday for Mesh?
I don't think so. No, not this week. Probably, the holiday weekend and stuff.
Yeah.
But
nothing on Thursday. Friday. What you got going on Friday? Oh, Friday's a film. Whatever.
Fridays, yeah, we're gonna decide. It's gonna be a Christmas rewatch.
Are you doing number 2 or number 1?
Oh, that's a good question. I think it depends on how it breaks down, because I have my preferences, and I think Netter has hers.
One may have a little more.
Yeah, exactly.
A netter touch, the other may have.
Exactly. So we'll decide when we see what those two are.
Like, let me think. You would be more of Elf. No, I think you would do Holiday Inn.
Yeah, yeah.
St. Louis. You would do the old ones, I would think.
Yep, exactly.
And Netter would do Elf, I think. Netter might do the Santa Claus.
Actually, I was leaning more towards Polar Express.
Or
Polar Express or Elf, yeah.
I was in there. I just couldn't remember Polar Express.
I just felt like we had to throw a Christmas Story in there because, the sequel out, people might... Same thing with Santa Claus and whatnot. And I couldn't do the Santa Claus without at least having the option for Santa Claus the movie,
Right.
But we'll see what people say.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun. We'll see what that happens. So keep an eye out this week. It is the week leading into Christmas. Oh, what a time! In fact, 1 week from this very moment, because it just turned 12. Well, 12:01. No, it's still 12. I can't see. My eyes are fuzzy. 12:01.
Well, I got that you would be 12:02 because we're 11:02.
Right.
Still 12. Am I still 12:01? I'm still 12:01. Let me see when mine turns to 02.
Do.
Yes, yes. This is high entertainment. Waiting. There we go. Now it's 12:02. But anyone have any final words, Netter?
Well, you know what I always say.
Of course.
That's why I always give it to you.
We can always talk amongst ourselves, and that's all well, good fun. But it's so much more fun when you guys are here with us. You're dropping comments and trivia and questions in the chat. And it's more like you're actually in the same room with us rather than being miles and miles away. We really do thank you all for being here. You're not just friends to us, you're family too. Thank you for joining us in our big YouTube family. And have a Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Gosh, I really appreciate you, Al, always having us kind of into your home in a way, right? Yeah. As guests. And
on my virtual couch.
Yeah, kind of. That's exactly right. And
I'm in my virtual recliner.
I was. You listened in on at least part of the stream last night, and it was really. It was so much fun that I actually had Mike Mexican Iron Man a private message me afterwards saying, "Man, that was so much fun. You've got a really great community." Going there, and I just started thinking, that's kind of how I feel every week, whether it's Last Call on Friday or the rewatches on here on Big Al Presents or over on Netter's Network. Mm-hmm. It's I really do appreciate it.
Yeah. Just want to Connie Cleary says all of them are good, but Polar Express.
You don't care for Polar Express, huh?
Well, we
Okay.
know one that she's not voting for.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Gremlins. She likes Gremlins. What does everyone think about Metropolis being in the public domain as of the first of the year?
You mean the Fritz Lang film?
Guess so.
I kind of thought it already was, but okay.
It might. I gotta say, is it? It's 100 years old. That I'm thinking, right? So I'm thinking that's probably.
It's gotta be, yeah.
Man, we are coming up on like in a couple of years, 100th anniversary of like Phantom of the Opera and Hunchback of Notre Dame. Wow, what a wow! 100 years ago for some of these things. Amazing. But I hope everyone has a wonderful Sunday. I hope everyone has a great week ahead, and just keep the Christmas spirit alive and well. Sing Christmas carols and watch Hallmark because they put you in a good mood. That's what I do. So take care, everyone. Thanks for joining us, and have a wonderful, wonderful time during the Christmas season. Goodbye.
Good night. Merry Christmas.
Bye bye.